Hey, Fuzzy Goat family, Melissa here in Thomasville, Georgia, and I'm so happy to be with you today. I have missed you all. We've had a busy couple weeks, and I have been busy as well. So I'm standing up right now so I can show you what I finished. So I am wearing the SSA um, I think it's SSAT. I can't tell. I can't remember. I'm gonna tilt this down a little bit. Hello, Cindy. So you can see the little action going on here. It is a split hem, and it has the ribbing on the sleeves. You can also do this long sleeve. It is kind of a fun. It's a ribbing, and then every other row is just a knit row, and it also has it on the bottom. I did it in sport pashmina, and I wish you could feel this. It is lovely. But you can also, the pattern, you can also do it in a fingering. So simple, it went really fast. This in the sport, I believe I used an 8 and a 6. So it went pretty fast. You just had to remember here what was going on. And I don't know, it was kind of cool, just a different kind of tee. And I also, Cadence is laughing at me right now, but hello, Lynn. Thank you, Cindy. This is really, it's the first time I wore it. I finished it and I actually blocked it last night and just quick block. So let me turn this a little bit. I also finished my plenilune, I think I'm saying that correct, tee. So I couldn't possibly wear all three of them today. So I thought I'd put them on a model and then you probably will see me in them. This was using the sea silk from Sweet Georgia, which we will be having. Hello, Marcia. We will be having more of this coming in because we saw them at market. And I was going to wear it when we saw them, but we had another meeting with somebody else that I wanted to wear my sweater with. So I'm going to shift over here. Y'all might be dizzy after all this. And I did finish my Helga cardigan. And I don't know if you can see it. Let me move her a little closer. My buttons, they're the little goat buttons. Aren't they cute? And I did something different up here at the neck. I think she had, oh, hey, Callie, how are ya? And Nancy, oh, I'm so excited that you guys are here with me today. So she had this flipped over, and she wanted you to seam it like that. But I kind of like the roll, so I left it. I didn't do anything, but I might need to tuck this little guy in there. So this is the Helga, and I was using the trio one and alpaca one held together. And if you also could feel this, this is super soft. I blocked it, and it did soften up when I blocked it. Using the two lace together, and we are also getting more of this in, plus some other stuff from Issair, more of this color as well. And I love the detail on the sleeve. I think you can see that. Also, it had it under here. Let me see. Can you see it? And I love it. I wore it at market one day, but the really sad thing is I wore it, and because we were meeting with Issair, and I wanted them to see it, I was so proud of myself because I thought this would literally take me forever. But I was so motivated to get it done, and I'm really happy I did. It was great. It's a very lightweight. And what else am I going to say about this? Oh, when I was going back to the hotel room, I think it was this arm, I was sliding off my awesome backpack, and it caught my sleeve. I don't even know. You can't really see it, but I really thought I tore the yarn, like I made a hole, but it didn't. It just snagged it, and look, you can't even see it. So here it is right here. I just pulled it through the other side and said, I'm not going to worry about it, and it didn't break the yarn. So that was the most important thing. So here we go. My Helga, my plenilune, and my SSA. And so you're wondering, I bet, what do I have on my needles? Hey, Renee McCoy, how are you doing? I'm going to slide you down. I'm going to sit down, so excuse me for all the movement. And, sorry, here I am. I'm also, when I'm done with my talking to you all and showing you my projects and such, I am also going to do we're going to stop the video and start a new one so that I can show you. A couple people had asked how I was doing the crochet neckline. So I started it on one of my sweaters, and if you just come back on, I guess, that I'll show you. I'll do a little demonstration. I'm gonna have Cadence or Madeline hold the camera, and I'll show you. It's real simple, but the concept, I'm sure. I mean, just to kind of visualize it is kind of weird. So, yes, we had Renee. I hope you're getting some knitting done. I hope you're at least able to do that. What was I going to say? It's been crazy busy. We had great trips. Market was a lot of fun. Before I came on, I had a list of patterns. So I was trying to create in Ravelry a bundle for us so that I can then, share them with you all. Some that, of course, I want to make for myself, and some that I think just would be fun with some of the yarns we have coming in. What was I going to say? So what else we have going on in my life? My son is graduating from high school, and I just need him to finish, need him to cross that finish line. So hopefully he's going to be doing that in the next week. I think he graduates the 18th, so not this couple Saturdays, not this Saturday, the next Saturday. So I need him to do that. And what else? Oh, he's having surgery, so I have to get my surgery knitting organized. So I don't have a lot of things on my needles right now. And so maybe I'll finish those so that when the market yarn comes in, I will be ready to start those projects, because I'm very excited about those. So I'm kind of leaving it open for that. And so I won't be here for a few days in the shop if you're local. And then my daughter comes home and she gets her wisdom teeth out. And then we have graduation. But that's not all, folks. We also are remodeling our kitchen that started on Monday. It's totally discombobulated. I think it's thrown my dogs for a loop. It has definitely thrown my husband for a loop. I think right now I'm handling it better than he is, but it's all good. It's going to be all good. So anyway, that's what's going on in my life. So knitting, I love it, love it. Okay, so I'm going to show you, well, this is the sweater. So if y'all want to tune back in, this is a sweater I made, and I mistakenly, what did I do with my hook? I mistakenly blocked it a lot, and it was super washed, and it definitely grew quite a bit. So I love wearing it. It's a great color, and I thought maybe if I could just bring in the neckline just a little bit, that I might wear it more. So I have done that to a couple other sweaters, which was perfect. It's just what it needed. And I thought, since a couple of you had asked about it, I thought, well, I'll take this one and show you. I may, I'm not sure. I'll see how the neck goes. But I may even do the sleeves on this as well as the bottom. Maybe, because it's just that loose. Yes, a kitchen remodel. Yes. All right, so let's talk about my projects. Oh, wait, let me tell you this story too. Oh, I was going to tell you a couple stories. So we were visiting Sweetgrass. I'm sorry, that's a restaurant here in town. Sweet Georgia. We, of course, were picking colors, and we had a new yarn coming out, so we were getting all excited. Cadence had to go on to another meeting, and they asked me if I was a fast knitter, and I said, well, I guess sorta. And I said, I knit Portuguese style, and they're like one of them wasn't sure what that was. I said, hey, I just happen to have my knitting with me, so how about I show you? And they're like, oh, great. So I take it out, and I'm knitting along, and they were like, what is happening there? So that was really kind of funny. So I had a little knitting lesson there. Then another thing, I was in the bathroom, and it got to the point where, and it's still shocking to me, like when I see all those ranunculus patterns, I love them. Like I'm always like, oh, look at this ranunculus, and look what they did with that. Different yarns. It always makes it look so different. So ranunculus is still alive and kicking, which I think is really funny. And I saw this woman in the bathroom, and I saw the sweater she had on, and I said, I really like your sweater. And she said, well, thank you, but it's not on Ravelry. It's a new pattern. She just wrote it. And I think, so she said, reach out to me, and I will happy to share it with you, because it's still in testing. And I think she's thinking maybe I could also test it. And so this is the pattern. I believe she was French, maybe Canadian. I'm not really sure. I believe, Kathy, you're right. I do believe you can not have too many ranunculuses. I have 3. Like, I never thought I would do anything 3 times. But anyway, so this is the pattern. I can't even tell you the name. Maybe she hasn't come up with a name because it's still in testing. She has revisions on this one that she is letting me borrow. So I believe I'm going to be casting this one on when some yarn comes in to show you the new yarn. It's cute. It was a cute pattern, little summer tee. Let me see what here. She uses a yarn that is wool and hemp, and we have some yarn coming in that is wool and linen, I want to say. So I'm thinking that would be a nice fabric for that. Anyway, what else? Okay, let's talk about my projects. Let's do that. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to. No, I think we're good. Oh, and on top of everything else that's going on, our septic tank had to back up. So that was joy with dogs. Lots, 3 dogs. Yeah. All right. This is Mystico yarn, and the pattern is Valentine. So you can see I have made progress, but I was getting so close on these other ones that I didn't go to this one very often. But I didn't have to think going on this. This was great meetings. And I will probably, my plan is right now is to maybe finish the body on this. And this is what I'd like to do. Finish the body, which I think only have a couple more inches. I think I need to get to 9 here. I think I'm really close. And then do the ribbing. And then maybe pick up a sleeve. And then I might hibernate it for a little bit because I probably won't be wearing it. This is we do have more of this Mystico. Probably if you'd like to make this pattern, we have enough for that as well. Marcy is she's exercising. Please don't fall and hurt yourself. But yes, please watch, but don't text and hurt yourself. But the Mystico, somebody said they had made a ranunculus out of this, which I think would be awesome because as you can see in this lace work here, it wouldn't be very, I mean, it's kind of see-through, but not completely open in the ranunculus lace pattern. So anyway, this is the Valentine. Check out on our website, fuzzygoatyarns.com. We do have some other colors if you're interested in that. Even in the ranunculus, you probably wouldn't need very many of them, depending on your size. And it is mostly cotton yarn. So my Billy. Yeah, we just have had a really busy couple of weeks now that I think about it. What do I have over here? I have started my class on the drawing sweater. I don't know if any of you all are joining in. Teresa says 1 sleeve till I am finished. Oh, I didn't see what you were finished with. Oh, your Valentine. So I'm assuming you made it long sleeve, which is what I think I'm going to do. Anyway, yes, Valentine, she said. Okay. So let me show you what I've got. I've started my class on the drawing sweater. And really what the class is kind of teaching them techniques to get up to the color work. So it's not really a class. I intend for them to finish the sweater in the class period, but I want to get them to the point where we can get into the color work. So I just cast on some yarn that I had, and I'm not going to make another one. I love my drawing sweater, but I don't know that I want to make another one. Oh, the name of the pattern I'm wearing is SS and A, the symbol and. It's on, if you go to our sport weight on our website. So this is Pashmina sport weight. I think I've got it listed on all of our sport weight yarns. You'll see it and it'll link you to Ravelry, but it's S, S, and A. Anyway, okay, so the cast on for the drawing sweater is a tubular cast on, and it makes it as if it's just running over, like coming over a cliff. You don't have that, like when you do a long tail cast on or anything. So is it necessary? I don't think you have to do that. In fact, I think a couple of people in my class were just going to do a long tail. But it does give it a nice finish. So that was one thing we did in class. You also have, with this tubular cast on it, you end up casting on in a rib. So it's a 1x1 rib. Oh, excuse me, I just got tickled. But when you start, she wants you to flip-flop your stitches. So you have a 2x2. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Anyway, so that was something else we did in class. And then I'm going to have to get my water. Hold on 1 second. Oops. I'm sorry. I need my water. Okay, I'm so sorry. Don't know what happened there. So what I did, then there's an increased row, and then we have some short rows. So I think my class right now is ahead of me, which is fine. I can still teach them, but I want to get to their short rows, and then their short rows with color work. So I need to get to that point so I can help them get through that, and then we're going to learn the ladder back jacquard for carrying your yarn. So that's where we are with the drawing sweater. These are the two that I'm going to be using, but like I said, I'm not going to go very much further, so I just wanted to mention that to y'all. That's where I am if any of you are joining in and doing the drawing sweater. And okay, let's talk about that. So this guy is my I can't believe how short, like I have hardly anything on my little notes. So this one is the marigold. So yes, to my husband, the vertical stripes. Oh, beautiful blanket behind me. Yes, this is the building blocks. We have the clasp. We also have a book, and it's like 12 squares. You learn a different stitch in every one of them. It's awesome. That's also on our website if you wanted to get the book. All right, so let's see. Where am I with this sweater? Okay, this is, I believe this is the back. Okay, here we go. So it's this way. So this is the right shoulder. Okay. Yeah, this is the back. It's on hold. That's what's happening here. And I'm not sure why. I'm really, like, I haven't gone I'm going step by step with this pattern, not to get myself too confused. So this is the front, and I'm starting to bind off for the neck. Then I believe this pattern is you do a Kitchener stitch in the center. So that's probably what is exactly happening now that I'm holding it up and showing it to you all. So maybe halfway there, maybe, because I still have to do the other side, the left shoulder. So yeah, so stay tuned. It's fun. You have to switch when you're doing the lace work, switch needles. So I have to remember that. There's been a couple times where I got like a row and I'm like, oops, I didn't change. I also have, let me see if you can even tell. I believe here on this side, there's 14 stitches for my size in here. And I think there were a couple that I only did 12. I think it's these two right here, which I didn't, once I realized it, I didn't undo it. Y'all, I have a lot of things I want to knit, so I didn't undo it. But what I did is I made a note so that I'll do the same on the other side, so it matches at least, or I can make that decision at least. But anyway, this is the marigold, and I can't wait to wear it. It's been fun, so this might be something I work on while my son is in surgery, just because it doesn't take these rows. Let me show you again. The rows with the lace. It's you're going back and forth, so it's 6 rows. 3 of them are just purl because it's the rest side, and 3 of them are the lace pattern, which is real easy. It repeats itself. So I don't know. Yeah, it's nice. It's using fingering. You could probably even get away with like a lace on that too. Even some of Alicia's, lovely. She's got a fingering with silk in it. Oh, check her out on our website too. All right, so this is what I think I may do tonight. This is, what is it? Against All Odds, and I'm kind of struggling with it a little bit. And somebody had come in the shop and they were worried about a sweater they were working on and wanted to know if they were doing it right. So I read the pattern and I said, that's exactly what I would have done. But they were worried about the neckline. Was it going to be too wide? I think I'm recalling. And where did the yarn I used, Nancy, for the marigold? Well, you're so lucky. It was, I am using Sweet Georgia. The green. I believe the white variegated is something that I'd gotten from a stash, but the green is Deep Cove. I don't know if we still have some, but we have placed a new order, which should be coming soon on the fingering. So, but yes, lovely. Her yarn's lovely. Anyway, so my suggestion to her is, well, before you go too far, maybe you can finish the neck. Like, it's no rule that you can't, pick up and do that. And I thought, well, why don't I do that? Because I feel like why I'm not going back to this sweater is because I feel like I don't know if this is right or not. So tonight I may do that. I may pick up and just see if that closes this up and, draws it in and try it on and then make a decision. I love the colors I love the yarn. And this is Bad Sheep. This is from the fall. Bad Sheep. And yeah, so this is Against All Odds, Isabel Kramer pattern. And that's where I am with that one. All right. So I have one more I'm going to show you guys. So that's all that I'm working on. And I say that's all. Like, I don't really count the drawing sweater because I'm just trying to get to a point. And clearly the Against All Odds is on hibernation. So there we go. Okay, so let me show you the pattern first. I even cleaned out this and took out patterns that I'm done. Like, it just felt so good to get organized. So this, I'm gonna hold it up there, is the let me read it to you, Brooklyn Raglan Light. So you can do it long sleeve or short sleeve. It's got a nice little definition in the sleeve there. And that's it. And it's got the raglan, which I really love the raglan. This is in a fingering. I think there's also a DK weight. I love the bottom too. And that's actually what really got me, was this little bottom here. I like that look. And a couple people in the shop are working on it. I'm like, that looks like a nice summer tee that I can work on and not too difficult, because I am, where's it go? I am itching to do some color work aside from the drawing sweater. So I'm kind of leaving room on my needles for that. So this is what I was going to show you. So I will give credit. Diana, she's taken my class, and they were required to do a gauge swatch, which I know a lot of people get twitchy about doing a gauge swatch in the round. So she had reminded me, don't look too closely, that Patty Lyons in her book, Tips and Tricks, has a version of doing your in the round without having these things, because I've messed up a couple times. So what you do, I'm going to see if I can explain this to you, all right? So this is where my working yarn is, all right? I'm over here. Grant, okay, I'll do it this way. This is my working yarn. So you slide your work, right? Because you're always knitting. That's the key when you're knitting in the round. Then with your working yarn, instead of working from here, from this point of the working yarn, you get your slack, right? I've been doing like 3 loops to 3. So I will start here and knit towards my work. And that way I won't have, the working yarn will always be on the correct side of your swatch when you slide it. So as you can see, I messed up a couple times. And this is my concern. I knit Portuguese style, so obviously I knit with my yarn. That's how I keep my tension. But I can't do that doing the swatch this way, because the yarn won't go over my neck, because it's just a portion of it, right, that I'll be working with. So I'm knitting differently. So I'll be holding it. It's still continental, like I'll still hold it here and knit, but I'm curious if my tension will be different, right, because I'm knitting differently. So this may or may not work for me, but I'm giving it a whirl, and I thought you guys might find it interesting. We do have that Patty Lyons book if you're interested as well. She had a lot of tips. There was a lot of good things in there, which I did use. This is one I remember thinking about, and then there were other things. So, so this is my swatch. No, I am not done with the swatch. I will do more. I just love this purple. I can't see what the name of this. This is one of the Hella Hanks from Emma's, and I had it. It's called Wink. I've had it for a project that I just decided I wasn't going to do. So I have a lot of these Hanks, and because the project was pretty intense. Where's my pattern? Oh, I showed it to you. So I'm going to do the raglan with this, and I think it'll look pretty with this lighter color. So yeah, so that's my plan with this. So I'm going to swatch, and then maybe cast on. Maybe I'll do that tonight too. So those 2 projects I could be working on while I'm waiting. I don't know if I told you this. So when we went to the doctor, and he told me how my son and I, how long he would be in surgery, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's significant. And my son looked at me, he goes, what are you going to do, Mom? And I'm like, Duh, I'm going to be knitting a sweater. So anyway, maybe I'll cast this on. That's my hope. So I will, like I said, I will make my gauge swatch bigger. This is on a 4. I just love this color. Now that I'm got it on here, I'm like in love with this color. So definitely casting this on. And I think that is all I have for my projects and where I am. So the next couple weeks, you will see me in these sweaters. I'll probably wear them for my lives. I will mention on this Helga, I wanted to show you, well, the Helga cardigan. It was a lot of buttons, and I had a heck of a time. I'm just looking at it right now, and I need to trim up some of my ends because I put on some buttons and I noticed that it was getting skewed, you know? I guess I was stretching one side, so then I cut them out, but I see that some of them that frayed, so I need to trim that up. But that was tricky to me because, the knitting gives. So you really have to, watch each buttonhole and line it up almost every time. It was like 12 or 13 buttons. Usually the buttons I do are not that many, so it's, not a big of a deal. But anyway, so that was a little challenging. So I just love it. I just love it, love it, love it. Anyway, I will be back in a few minutes. I'm going to have Cadence. We're going to get set up if y'all want to watch the crochet. And I am not a crocheter. I'm just going to say that right now. And I'll just give a brief demo on what I'm doing for that sweater. All right. You guys have a good week. I look forward to catching up with you next week. And text us or call us if we can help you with anything. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.